Very good morning, children. Welcome to the online education of class 7th science. So, dear students, I have been dealing with a lesson winds, storms, and cyclones. So, in the previous class, we studied about the uneven heating between the equator and the poles, and uneven heating between the land and seas and oceans. So, in previous class, we also studied about the thunderstorm and how to escape from the thunderstorms when it occurs. That also I explained you. So, and even I explained the structure of cyclone, the eye of the cyclone. So how much distance they spread, so what is the diameter of the eye, and what would be the speed of the winds. So that all I explained in the previous class. So today let us understand how a thunderstorm converted or becomes a cyclone. That we will see. So dear students, already we know that. What is that? So when the water is converted in from liquid to vapor, it requires some heat. So when we give the support or give the heat, then the liquid water gets converted into vapor form. It changes from liquid to vapor state, right? So again, when the vapor water, that is we call it as a steam, when it condenses and converted into again liquid droplets, at that time, does it give that heat back to the environment or to the surroundings, that heat to the surroundings or the environment? Yes, of course. So this experience, same thing matches with the thunderstorm, how it becomes a cyclone. Let us study that one. See, we know that the cloud is formed due to the rising air. Okay, the water in the different water sources gets evaporated, and those becomes the clouds. Okay, so before that cloud formation, the water takes up heat from the atmosphere to change into vapor form. Whatever the water is present in the seas and oceans and different water bodies, it takes up the heat from the atmosphere. It takes some heat from the atmosphere because it is getting heated, warmed due to the temperature of the sun. So it takes up the heat from the surroundings or from the atmosphere to change into vapor form. Am I right? So when the water vapor changes again back to the liquid form, means again it converts into liquid form, droplets. Okay, so when the water vapor again changes into liquid form as raindrops, that we call it as condensation. So condensation takes place of clouds, right? So when they convert it into again liquid drop in the form of raindrops, so this heat which is absorbed by this water, no, when it is rising up, so this heat is again released to the atmosphere. That heat is not wasted anywhere. That heat is again released to the atmosphere only. So this heat which is released by these water droplets in the atmosphere, so this heat is what is going to happen. So it warms the air around. The released heat warms up the air which is around in the atmosphere. Okay, so now the air tends to rise. Now warm air which got the heat, no, it tends to rise, go up and up, tends to rise and cause a drop in pressure. It creates some drop of pressure in the atmosphere. Due to the rising air, the pressure is lowered. Okay, there is going to be a rising pressure. Okay, so now more air rushes to the center of the storm. See, you know that storm, heavy storm, so more amount of air rushes to the center of the storm. Okay, storm, you know that heavy wind, that we call it as a storm. So when more air rushes to the center of the storm, what happens here? This cycle is repeated again. The air, temperature is released to the atmosphere, the air gets warm up, so that starts creating the pressure. So like that, what happens? More rushes and air rushes into the storm. Like that, this cycle repeats continuously. The chain of events takes place end to end with the formation of very high speed winds. So this chain of reactions or the for events, it ends with the formation of very low pressure system. Okay, very low pressure system is created and revolving around it, which is formed around it. So these high speed winds which are revolving around it, it is this weather condition we call it as cyclone. It is this weather condition that we call it as a cyclone. So there are many factors which affect the cyclone. So what are those factors which affect the cyclone to form? So those are wind speed. When the wind speed is very heavy, very more, so at that time the cyclone formation is also possible. At the same time, wind direction, from which direction wind is blowing, so wind speed and wind direction, that also factors. Okay, then next one is temperature, if the temperature is more is released in the atmosphere, then also that causes the pressure created, and warm air rises up and more pressure is created. So wind speed, wind temperature, temperature, wind direction, and humidity, even the amount of humidity, humidity, so these all contribute to the development of the cyclone. So if the cyclone is to be formed, so these factors are going to be the reasons. Okay, so now let us have a look at the picture of a cyclone. Look at it here. You can see here the formation of a cyclone. See, from the base eye of the cyclone, how it is rising with a warm air, rising air, you can see in the circular manner. Okay, it's raised up. Okay, direction in which the cyclone is moving, look at it here, upwards from the ground level. See, stream flow, so it is flowing in this manner. So sinking air, outflow of the this one. Okay, 15-kilometer high it may rise, cyclone. Okay, so formation of the cyclone will be in this manner. 10 to 13 kilometer it may rise up. So it's a heavy, you know uh, reasons are many, but it can cause more disasters. Okay, so look at the image of the eye of a cyclone. I was explained in the previous class, I had explained the image of the eye of a cyclone. It is captured by the artificial satellite, Indian satellites. So look at the figure 8.12 and look at the figure 8.13. So that is rising water caused by cyclone. A cyclone may cause a rise in the water level in the seas and oceans. So this all reports are given by the Indian Meteorological Department, New Delhi. So dear students, just write down the definitions and explanation and draw the diagram of the cyclone, so that it will be helpful for you to remember. Thank you and have a nice day.